It's difficult for us to understand the spiritual dimension because it's beyond the physical dimension. We can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't quantify it. It's even more difficult for us to comprehend a God who lives in the spiritual dimension, yet can interact with the physical dimension. We've created the following illustration to help you understand. Let's say that man is like this two-dimensional stick man. The stick man's entire world is limited to two dimensions, height and width. The stick man has no comprehension of a third dimension, such as depth. Depth will represent the spiritual dimension. This two-dimensional plane confines his entire understanding of the universe. His comprehension is limited to things that interact on his two-dimensional plane. God is represented by this three-dimensional man. God exists outside the stick man's two-dimensional plane of existence, and God can choose to interact or not to interact with this plane. God can come infinitesimally close to the plane of existence of the stick man, but not touch it. Even though God is so close to the stick man cannot see God or comprehend him. The truth is, God exists everywhere around us. He's so close to us, even though we can't see him or comprehend him. God must choose to touch this plane of existence for the stick man to see him. The stick man's perspective of God's manifestation is a dot, but we can clearly see that the extension of the dot is God himself. What the stick man sees, the dot, is a two-dimensional representation of a being that is far greater than he can comprehend. 1 John 1 and 14 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us." Jesus says in John 14:9, "He who has seen me has seen the Father." When God intersected our plane of existence, we saw his dot as Jesus Christ. We could see Jesus, we could touch him, we could understand and believe him when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." 1 John 4:15 says, "Whoever confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him, and he in God." Through Christ, we are connected to God in a dimension far greater than the three-dimensional world in which we abide. Through that connection, we can live and move as a new creation, not just in the physical dimension, but in the spiritual. Our spirits can now see and hear, feel, and even interact with God in the spiritual dimension. This is how we understand Romans 8:9 when it says, "You, however, are not in the realm of the flesh, but are in the realm of the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God lives in you." And Colossians 3:3 when it says, "Your life is hidden with Christ in God."